One of the really interesting things about your career is how long you've been in the same place. In a world where people jump ship all the time, chasing the next job, and it's been well documented that you had many opportunities. Phone was calling a lot for big jobs when you were working your way up through the Ravens. What what made that decision easy for you? Maybe it wasn't easy to stay in one place and do it the right way, and now it's become the pinnacle of your career as the GM of the Ravens.
Yeah, so I don't know. I grew up, as I said, a child of the '80s, and grew up in Massachusetts, and we had, this is very similar in this part of the country. Pennsylvania sports as well. You've got the Eagles, you've got the Steelers, in the 76ers, Flyers. You got some like traditionally historic franchises. We had the Sox, we had the Celtics, we had the Bruins, and the athletes that I admired, I have to be honest, like most of those athletes that I admired spent their entire careers with our teams. So you had the Carl Yastrzemskis, you had the Jim Rices, you had the had the Larry Birds, you had players like that, and I always thought there was a beauty to that, to starting someplace and finishing someplace. The reality is, for me, when I think about success, I think about building relationships and having those people with you along the way. So knowing my owner, Steve Bisciotti, and the scouts that I worked with, I felt that would give me an edge. In our profession, you don't get many second chances to be a GM. Okay? If you get fired, you're probably not going to be a GM again. So my whole mindset was, how do I maximize my chances for success when I do get the chance to be the GM? Now, I knew in 2007 that I would be the GM of the Ravens after Ozzie Newsome retired. Steve Bisciotti offered me the job in 2007, and I accepted. I never dreamed it would take me 12 years from the time I accepted the job. So I used those 12 years to really hone in and focus on different things that I thought I would have to improve. I mean, for me, scouting was probably the one thing when I thought about myself that I was really good at, was scouting and running the draft. But the idea of salary cap, performance, some of the other things, I wanted to really spend time in. Along the way, I had probably 20 different opportunities to go other places. And in some cases, the same team twice over a 3 or 4 year window. And all that did was make me feel even more resolute that I was better off staying in Baltimore, because if jobs were opening up in the same city twice in 4 years, it just goes to show you how treacherous the profession really is in some ways. So the biggest thing for me was stability. My wife, Lacey, who's here today, she's from Maryland. Again, I sort of subscribe to the idea that if your family is healthy and happy, then you'll be healthy and happy and be able to succeed in your business. So knowing that we had family in the area, I love working with Ozzie. So that was, people would say, well, isn't it tough working with somebody that you're going to replace someday? And I'd be like, no, it's the best thing in the world, because he wants me to replace him someday. And he knows me, I know him. His greatest strengths, probably my weaknesses, and some of my greatest strengths, probably his weaknesses. So we're a great team. And also along the way, because it was out in the open that I was going to be the GM, I gained additional responsibilities every single year, and I had the chance to grow and work on my weaknesses, which I think is critically important, and be the best GM that I could be along the way.